Welcome everybody. You are tuned in to Appetite for Change's Table Talk. Today I am sitting with three wonderful educators. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, let you know who they are and what they do. If you don't mind.
Yeah, Akil Faluke. I've been teaching for almost 10 years now, mostly over north. I'm in Osseo District now, and I'm a North Sider as well.
Okay, North Side.
Dr. Marcia Wyatt. I am in the 30-year group, currently teaching on the north side of Minneapolis. So that's me.
Demetria Poe. This is my 6th year teaching. I've taught in Osseo School District. They're online. I taught in North Minneapolis at a charter school for 2 years, and now I'm in East St. Paul.
Okay. Do you do anything else besides teaching, any of y'all? Anything on the side that has to do with teaching or anything like that?
I have a nutritional health and wellness business, so I do like cold pressed juice and sea moss, and mostly
dope.
doing that on weekends and evenings. And I love the space I'm in now because I get to encourage the other skills that I've had that allow me to be an entrepreneur and encourage my students to just develop their skills even if they don't want to do something like that. So
Okay, that's dope. I'm gonna have to connect.
Yeah,
about that.
like sea moss.
health and wellness.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other life is I'm an ordained minister.
Amen.
And so using that in the classroom, I'm connected to the Minnesota State Baptist Convention Incorporated. I'm over the Women's Auxiliary as their president.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
So I have a tutoring company, educational services for parents and kids, pre-K to 12. It's called Scholar School. So during the school year, I tutor after school and on the weekends. And during the summer, I have a 7-week program where I have I do field trips. I teach reading, math, science, and then I have somebody come in and do a cooking class. Somebody teaches an art class. Somebody does a mental health, wellness class as well. I'm also an author. I created a workbook called Kindergarten in a Workbook. Oh yeah, sorry. Right there. It's over 400 pages of just multiple activities for kids that are building their phonics and phonemic awareness, everything they need to be readers and writers.
Okay.
So that's what I do. I'm also in school to get my PhD. I'm 1 year away from being done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so I'm really sitting in with some really dope people. But y'all want to tell me why education? Why that route out of everything else you could have done?
I really feel like it's part of my calling, part of my purpose. My grandmother was an educator, and she raised me. And as a kid, I used to be like, no, I'm not going to be a teacher. I always knew I loved kids. I'm the oldest of 12. My mother's 12. And the oldest of my dad's 6. So I was always helping with kids, doing stuff with kids, enjoyed it. But I was like, nah, teachers don't make no money. So I was like, I want to be a doctor, so I wanted to be a pediatrician. And when I came and moved from Milwaukee to here to go to the U, I started seeing them requirements with chemistry and physics, and I was like, I need to listen to my discernment and go with what I need to go with. So that's what has pushed me in education. I feel like having that connection with God, this is my purpose in life, really helps me deal with all types of different kids, their different needs, having different discernment about what they need in the time that they need it. So yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of agree with what you said, that calling. My first experience with school was in Brooklyn, New York, PS 241. First teacher I ever had such an impact on me. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then just along the way, wanting to open my own school, which is still somewhere in the background, but I'm getting close to retirement. So I think I need to change.
Perfect
that
timing.
up just a little bit. But I still want to be connected to our youth in some format.
Okay.
I think that's perfect timing. You
Yeah.
might just need some help.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about building a school, so we need to talk.
All come together.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
The
what it's
wisdom is
about.
important. So,
Yeah.
it's funny. I went to school for science. I went to school for chemistry,
Oh.
and I knew. But similarly, I always knew I never wanted to be a teacher. My mom's a teacher. She just retired, and I just saw that struggle, if you will, and swore it off. And I was kind of just had family stuff going on that brought me back to Minnesota, and I got a job offer to teach over north at a historical school in Minneapolis. And through that experience, that kind of, once again, that
Yeah.
calling word, I just fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since, on and off, pursuing my other interests in the background as pertains to, like, I just love science, and that's what I taught, math and science mostly. But
It's my favorite subject.
yeah, that calling and that love for children, which I always had. I always
Yeah.
felt like I was always kind of teaching.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it happened, and it's a joy now, and I love it. I don't love the bureaucracy or the system.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've tried to, and I'm trying to make the world my classroom. Which is
Yeah.
Yes.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, what motivates you to keep doing it? Like, you talked about why you do it, but, like, why continue to do it? Or who motivates you to continue to do it?
I'm going to say it's twofold for me. The students that I have from year to year are major motivation. Because when you see the pieces that are missing, you just don't want them to just go out
Yeah.
and be lost. So just staying there. And then just knowing, because even when I look at you, knowing how you were when you came through, but then to look at the success and know that you had an impact, that you played a role in that, just is still continuing to be a motivation for me.
Okay.
I think it's for me, the scholars as well as the families. Like, the most difficult kids and the most difficult parents seem to be the ones that you have the connections with after. And it just be so crazy because it's like you was ready to tear me up. All in emails, in person, however it was. But it's like just knowing that you're part of another village amongst a child, and like how beyond the classroom they be like excited to see me, or they want me to come to like their events or birthday parties or something random. And it's like, dang, I can't get you to sit down in class, but you want me to come to your mama house and try her chicken, or you want me to come to Gigi house and show me whatever you made at Gigi house and stuff like that. So I think it's just the connections for me that keep me motivated. Because sometimes like the pay ain't enough, the time ain't enough, the staff can be really hard. Like if you're not on a good team, that could be difficult. If admin isn't supportive, that can be difficult. It's like a lot of things that make teaching really hard, that's beyond us needing to know how to teach. So yeah.
Yeah, I almost, I did walk away. I walked away. I haven't, yeah, I walked away definitely after distance learning and COVID and all that. I don't know, because I think I went into it inspired thinking that parents and everyone was going to take more ownership over the education, and it was quite the opposite experience.
Right.
Left me a little jaded, disillusioned, I don't know all the words, but it's interesting because I don't know, this whole role, everything just kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm in high school now, which is different because I've mostly done middle school. It's just been a blessing to their point, because it's just undeniable how much I love the children, how much they inspire me on a daily basis, because that's the world I'm in now. Things are just, the world's so crazy right now, but we just in there every day.
Yeah.
And they just inspire me with their just, I don't know, even their intellect, because there's some very sharp kids out here.
People like, how you know that?
So yeah, for sure. And so and then feeling good about being good at it, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like you get it to a place where you know what you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in that place now, and so No, it's the kids. It's the kids. I don't
Yeah.
really care for most adults.
That other stuff. Yeah.
or none of the stuff, and I'm able to check that out as long as I have the autonomy to do what I want to do with my children, which this school is allowing me to do a lot of. It's just kind of, they're giving me a lot of autonomy to just rock with the kids how I want to rock with them.
What's this
and have
school
the
like?
expectation.
Look, because autonomy.
The individual. I think it's the class I have and everything.
Yeah.
The school I'm in is crazy. That's why I ain't trying to really say too much
Yeah.
about them. That school is crazy, but they really value me as a black man. It's predominantly black kids, and they don't ask a lot of questions is what I'm saying. So
I feel like I have autonomy where I am too, which is different because like sometimes you go into spaces like when you interview, you're interviewing them
Right.
as well, and they be like, yeah, we got autonomy, we got this, we give you
Right.
this control and that control, and I've been in two different opposite spaces.
Okay.
Like ICO's all white, well, predominantly white, and then I went into like a predominantly black space, being black ran, and I feel like I had more autonomy in ICO than I did in the black space. And now that I'm in St. Paul, I feel like I have even more autonomy there than I have across any place, which is so different. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm in 5th grade, so because I've always been in kindergarten, so I made a jump to 5th.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's older kids, so admin just feel like, hey, they not fighting, you got them, cool, versus kindergarten where you have more like helicopter parents and hands-on parents.
Gotcha.
5th grade, I'm fighting to get a phone call answered. Like kindergarten parents, they answer it, don't matter if they at work, driving, on the plane, they gonna answer for that school.
yeah, I think that's just middle school stuff you got
Yeah.
going. I do think it's interesting though, because I'm in ICO now, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I felt the autonomy as opposed to like over north in charter schools. Just it's a little more oversight there.
Let me find out you at Birch Grove.
No, I'm not at Birch Grove. I want to say my mom taught at. No, she subs at Birch Grove. I don't know if she taught.
I worked at Birch Grove. My first school was Parma Lake. Now that was different, and even though they on the same like little block,
Yeah,
two different worlds.
yeah.
Two different worlds.
I think those are just big districts. It's easy
Yeah.
for anybody to get lost in. I like it
Yeah.
though. Like I said, I think it's high school too. So I don't know. I'm just having a lot of fun in this role. I don't really
Yeah.
teach a content class, so that's what I'm saying. Like I get to kind of
Oh, yeah.
create my
Make your
whole
own thing.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank y'all for being teachers, because I know
Welcome.
how hard it is. I know how I was as a student. She could speak to that. I know how my daughter is as
I
a
could
teacher.
speak to that.
You could speak to that. And then your sister was my tutor. She definitely can
Okay.
speak to that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you know, I know it's hard, and
Yeah.
dealing with the kids, dealing with the parents. So I want to really thank y'all for what y'all do, and let y'all know it's really needed, and y'all are really valued, and y'all are valuable. So keep doing this work, keep being great.
Thank you.
But I do want to ask y'all, what's one thing that you wish you were told growing up, or even now, that you tell your students, your kids, or something you try to install in them? Or flip it, what's one thing you were told or showed that you wish your kids were told, or that you wish to give to them? If that makes sense. It was kind of a lot.
I think so I grew up in Milwaukee, so that's where I was until I went to college and moved here. And like Milwaukee's super segregated. You have to cross the bridge to get to like another race. So you gotta go to get to the Hispanics, you gotta go across the bridge to the south side. So like being in Milwaukee, I went to school with all black kids, but all our teachers were white. And I don't feel like they ever instilled in like it was okay to make mistakes, or I say I love you a lot to my kids. That was never said to me as a student. It really was like, I don't know, the relationship between teacher and student just was not there at no point for me with my white teachers. And it was just something that I really instill with the kids. Like even when they're making a mistake, even when I'm upset, I'm always saying I love you. I'm always saying like it's okay to make mistakes. And I also apologize a lot to kids, and that's something that wasn't even something that happened in the household for me. Like adults never apologize, so it looked as if the adults never made mistakes and everything was always wrong and I couldn't make a mistake. So I feel like when I apologize to the kids and I apologize like loudly, as much as I might yell, my apologies are just as loud. And I think that's what helps build the relationship with me and the kids, even as little as kindergarten, me saying like, no, I'm sorry, Miss Poe made a big mistake. Like that was a poor choice. And they be like, yeah, yeah, you did. And that hurt my feelings. And I'd be like, not too much. Not too much, because you should have been sitting down. But if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I love you and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I almost cried. I'm a crier now.
It's okay. You wouldn't be the first.
And being vulnerable in front of your students
Yes.
is
It is always
key.
good.
For me, the thing that I think I've grown into has been to say, you are gifted and you are a gift. And don't deny the world the gift that you are.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm taking right. I'm
Well, I need that for myself.
Exactly. I'm using that for myself. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest thing I emphasize, I don't think I wasn't told this, but I emphasize it so much because I feel like I'm part of a generation that went to school for careers, for money, and then a part of the same generation that came out in a recession where there were no jobs. And so the one thing I'll say that I just emphasize is that I enjoy school because I went to school to learn. And that skills pay the bills, and so just continue to acquire skills as much as you can is kind of what I emphasize, because I feel like as much as I chose my major based on
Skills do pay the
career,
bills.
like chemistry skills have afforded me a good life so far. And so like but not saying everyone has to be a chemist, just that idea, like I was pursuing something I was interested in learning.
Yeah.
And then the career just aligned with
Just
that
happened,
from a money perspective. And so that's the biggest thing I think I continue to emphasize. It's probably been my saving grace in terms of happiness, because I've been happy. So.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay. Y'all said some really good stuff that I'm sitting here like taking in myself. Like, I don't think my teachers told me that growing up either. And I was gonna say, Miss Poe, like my daughter was in your class and she used to come home like, Mom, why Miss Poe always telling us she love us? Why Miss Poe always kissing us? Why is she always hugging us? And I was like, because maybe she really do love you. And then I got a little cousin who's in school now, and she came to me and she's like, do you think it's weird that a teacher told me they love me? And I was like, no, they must actually love you. They must see something in you that you don't see in yourself, and they trying to, you know, bring it out of you. And so thank y'all again for that, because, you know, I'm not a teacher, but I do have kids, and I know some of our babies do need that extra loving when they go to school, because they don't get it at home.
But I want to say to you, you are a teacher. Your first teacher for your child.
Yes. I always tell parents that you are the first
First
teacher.
teacher.
Let's work together.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
You know stuff. I know some
Y'all
stuff.
just
We're
let
going
me
to put
know
the
I
stuff
got
together.
I'm the jack of all trades. I'm
Yeah,
a
you
teacher.
are.
What?
Yeah.
I like
We didn't say you were a jack of all trades.
Oh. Y'all just telling me, you know, you just said I was a teacher, you know, I felt like,
You are.
Yes.
Nah, I tried, but I like to leave that to the school. Nah, that's see, that's some parent problem. Sometimes it's mine too. We think that, I believe in I'm the first teacher as well, you know, try to do what I can do at home. But a lot of parents be like, take your butt to school, they'll teach you that, I'm not going to teach you nothing. And I'll just be like, it's not the school's job. But we got people like you all that's filling in those gaps. So, yeah, thank you. I don't know if I kind of want to ask y'all, like, I like to dig a little deep and, you know, ask people, like, if you were talking to your 15-year-old self, what's one thing that you would say? Because we work with youth, and, you know, we want our youth to watch these videos.
Yeah.
And so, like, what's one thing that you would say to yourself if you was talking to your 15-year-old self? I don't know why I picked 15. It just seems like a good number. To use. I mean, it's because 15 is like that age where you kind of
halfway there,
navigating, like starting to navigate life on your own, but still, you know. So I think that's a good age too.
trust the instinct that you have, that inner self that speaks to you, and balance that with not listening to the negative that comes from individuals who you consider to be important, because sometimes even those important individuals don't get it right. But if you trust what's in you, you'll always get it right.
Okay. Trust your instinct.
I would say to my 15-year-old self, like, continue to just listen to your discernment. Because the path I chose, like the friends I was with in high school and stuff, we all just went completely different ways. Like, we all had, it seemed like the same path when we started in ninth grade. By the time we got to senior year, everybody just dispersed to their own life paths. So just trusting in yourself, trusting that you are doing what God has told you to do, even if it's not what's being seen or been done around you. Like being first gen, that was major for me. Moving out here at 17 going on 18 without not even a play cousin in the state, nothing, just by myself. And Minnesota's like really white. Everybody thinks Wisconsin's white, but Minnesota's like a different. Well, Milwaukee's like its own little state inside Wisconsin. So we not really a part of Wisconsin, but we reside there. It's like the United States of Milwaukee.
I feel like it's not that Wisconsin isn't white. I think Milwaukee is just very black.
Yes, very
Like,
much. It's just a melting pot of
Yeah.
Chicago, Detroit, and Milwaukee in one. But yeah, just following your own path and being okay with being like alone, but you're not lonely.
Okay.
Say, don't be afraid to use your voice. I don't know. Yeah. No, I just feel like naturally you want to make, as a teacher, I don't know, you want to make space for everyone's voice and whatnot, but you can do that to the detriment of your own voice. And so if I had to tell my younger self something, I think it would be that.
Okay. Use your voice.
Period.
Is there anything else, y'all like to say, throw out there or anything?
The importance of parents right now and the
Yes.
education of their
Man,
children.
yes.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Man.
No, I knew I was like, if I wanted to say something on this camera, I was going to emphasize the importance of parents and the education of their children, knowing that as a middle school teacher, but seeing still the importance of high schools, hearing how much high schoolers still don't talk to their parents. And I knew that in middle school, but it's still the case in high school, and all they want is someone to talk to.
Yeah.
All they want is an adult to talk to, specifically in high school. And they want to do well.
Yeah.
Even the worst of the worst ones want to learn. And so I just feel like parents got to believe that first, and then be a part of that. And it's not necessarily pushing them to school. It's being a part of their learning and valuing education, and maybe learning with them instead of saying, go to school, school's going to help you be successful, because I don't necessarily know if that's even the case. So
Okay.
I think that's been the biggest thing on my spirit, I should say.
Yeah. And I agree with that. From the elementary level, parents need to advocate for their children. As an educator, I can do what I can do,
Right.
Yeah.
but it takes the parent sometimes to get the motion
Yeah.
There you go.
to take place that as an educator I can't. That's my struggle now, is that constant fight. How many years has this been going on? Well, we need the parent.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we get the brunt of what happens because the parent is not there advocating.
Right.
And those kids just get to high school,
Yeah.
get to middle school, and still need mom, dad, whoever it is, come advocate for me. Just so that I know that what I'm doing is not just important to me, but it's also, now I'm getting ready to cry, important to you. Because they need to know that somebody's in their corner, and they don't always They don't always feel that.
Yeah.
You're just my teacher. I'm going to
Yeah.
have another one next year.
Right.
Yep.
And so just getting them, the I love you, the kiss
Yeah.
you mean something to me. For a lot of kids, they fight against that because not that they don't want to take it from you, but they want to take it from the person that gave them
Exactly.
Yeah.
life.
Yep.
So,
I definitely agree about the parents. Parents definitely have to realize that we're a part of the village. We're not the only. We're not the. Yeah. We are not the president of the village. We're just a neighbor in in it. But yeah, because our kids, I've noticed like with my most difficult kids, they know when their parents are involved and not involved, and it makes it harder trying to not only connect with them but to furthermore teach them, because they already are coming with all this baggage of like, I done fought all night to get attention, so now I'm about to throw a party in the middle of this carpet. I'm about to dance, I'm about to do anything, and it doesn't matter if it's good attention, indifferent attention, bad attention. It's like, you got your eyes on me. That's something that's not happening at home.
Right.
Nobody's paying attention to me at home. If I fall, don't nobody care. Like, if I cry, nobody hears me. So I think parents need to also realize, like, we understand that you have to work. We understand that you have to provide for your kids, but they are here to be nurtured. And a child that does not feel the warmth of the village will burn the village.
Okay.
So, to feel this warmth. So it's like, we need you all to like be in connection with not only your children, but the people who are also supporting them, the teachers, the bus drivers, whoever, the lunch ladies. Just get to know the people that are around your kids, because when they see that you're invested and also see that you have relationships with these other adults, they don't try us as much. Like when kids know that they mama done said, because I done had kids tell me what they mama said, and I say, well, tell her to call me, because I don't need you as the messenger. But when they know, like, oh, dang, I heard my mama say this, that, or the third about Miss Poe, I ain't got to listen to you. And yes, you do. So, or she could come get you.
Right.
But it's really important because they know when the adults have relationships, and then they're not going to try us. Because I know as a child, when I was a kid, I never tried my teachers. I was too afraid of my grandma for that. And I was too afraid of what my teacher would do in the moment. So it was just like my teacher, my grandma, the auntie who gonna get involved, my mama. Like, everybody had something to say when I was growing up. If you got in trouble at school, you might as well just prepare everywhere. Everything was taken. I don't care if you got in trouble in June. Your Christmas is over. Like, and these kids nowadays are getting just things thrown to them to keep them occupied, and it's not helping them grow. And we live in such a digital world that our kids are being raised by like the influencers, and their life is a facade. So our kids that are growing up now, it's like, oh, I'm about to just be a TikTok influencer. And a lot of people are gonna get that opportunity, get famous, but a lot of our kids are not.
Right.
So it's like, we need the parents to help us like find out what your baby really loves, so we can foster that, as well as foster the things, because you have to read, you have to know how to count, stuff like that, but you also have to be a respectable person. So we're trying to teach wholeness in them. We just need the parents.
yeah. And I think, too, that one of the things that we have to have those hard conversations with parents.
Yeah.
And say, I'm not blaming you. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
But this is what we need. The child that you send to school
Yeah.
is your investment to the rest of the world.
Okay.
What's your investment going to look like
Yeah.
when you're not here? What's going to be said? And a lot of educators, unfortunately, don't want to have that hard conversation, because when do we see our parents? When they're angry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they come up,
Conference. If they come to conference.
when they ready
If
to
they
just
come to
chop your
conference.
head off, instead of, and I've said to parents who've come that way, I'm an adult,
Yeah.
just like you.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to have a conversation as an adult, then we can have that
I thought I
conversation.
turned that off. Come on.
Don't make it
Oh,
awkward.
yeah,
Just
I'm
keep
like-
talking. Just keep talking.
Come on. We can have that conversation. But if that's how you're coming at me, because I'm not coming at you that way, I'm coming as a partner.
Yeah.
And as that partner, we got to do this together so that your child makes it. Not because, because in my situation, being the resident Black person,
Right.
I get all the tough
Ooh,
kids.
yeah.
I get all the kids. Like, you want to send yours, send them on
They
upstairs.
throw them right into that class.
Come on upstairs. And that's what happens in my current building. When kids act out of control, send them on up to Dr. Wyatt. And so they come in, and then but then when they're looking and seeing how I'm dealing with the student, well, you're just too harsh. Well, then you keep them.
Yeah, because
Send them back to
I
me.
got my list. I got my roster.
Look, I got 20. Don't send me any
20
extras.
is good.
20 is good.
Yeah, 28.
20 is good, but I got second and third graders together.
Oh, no. Yeah, 20 is a lot.
Before I go there, though, what I was gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, like you, I was scared of my mama.
Yeah.
My mama didn't play like. My mom was one of the most involved parents that I ever knew in school. Like, she wasn't just there when I was in trouble.
Yeah.
If it was the little family day or whatever,
Yeah, she was
my
there.
mom was there.
Yeah.
No, like she was. It's like during the Black History Month, they did like this African American family involvement. My mom was the only parent out of the whole high school that showed up, and so like when I had kids, that's what I
Yeah.
try to be. And so now I sit on the site council at the school. I'm there every time they have a meeting. This is my dedicated time, and then I go sneak in on them just to see.
Yes.
I have a little troubled kid right now, and I do my best. Like you said, I grab her to
Yeah.
the side. Is there something going on at home that you're not telling me about that I don't know that I should be aware of? You know, I'm sitting there, I'm asking her this right in school. Teacher, no. Call me and I'm coming.
Yeah.
Text me and I'm coming. I pick my daughter up from school. First thing she do, her eyes get this big. She say, did I have a bad day? And I'm like, no, I'm just here to come get you. And she like, oh, okay, because I thought I had a good day. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and so
Yeah.
trying to get her from, like, just thinking that I'm only there when she act out.
Yeah.
I want her to see me
That's good.
when other stuff is going
Yeah.
on.
That's good.
But for you all, you know, y'all talked about the parents. What's like a ideal collaboration that y'all like to see between parents and the educators?
I mean, I know who my favorite parents have been.
Yeah.
They're definitely the ones that always pick up when you call.
Yes.
And then they're also the ones that call you. Like,
Yes.
call me.
Yep.
Like,
Yes.
blow my line up. Like, call me every day to check in
Yeah.
on your child because you're managing anywhere from 20 to 60 children. That's
Yeah.
a lot of phone calls,
Yeah.
even if you have the best intent of making them all. So the ones that call me and get that
Yeah.
out the way, great. And then pop up.
Yep.
I think the reason I bring up pop-ups is, like, to your point of the precedent it sets for your child, but you'd be surprised the precedent it sets for the other children as
kids.
well. Just having a mom up there,
Yeah.
it just makes kids tighten up. You
No,
still a mom.
all of them.
like,
They be like,
yeah,
I don't know
so,
who mama this is.
I just feel like that outward intention from a parent makes the collaboration, because I'm there, so it just makes it easier. Hopefully we both have a love for your child, so that part should happen naturally, but I feel like that effort on that end just makes the communication easier, the collaboration easier as well. For sure. And not it's just as much as you feel necessary, but it helps though.
Yeah.
I love, to add to that, I love the parents that, call, that I talk to outside of anything being wrong. I also love the parents that help supply our classroom. Like, those are my top ones. Like, oh, you need some snacks? Yes. You need pencils? Like,
That's real.
a lot of parents are super involved with that in the beginning.
Yeah.
But everybody forgets us mid-October, November. Like, y'all kids eat pencils.
Pencils
they
are
eat
gone.
them. They're gone. Like, I'm
Tissue.
sharpening a fresh pack every day for 5th grade. And it's like, I know, put them back. What do y'all do? I'm going to start numbering them. Put them back. But yeah, those that really dig in to be like, what does the class need? Because not every family is able to supply stuff. So whether it's gloves, pencils, snacks, waters, anything for me. Oh, the ones that give me Target gift cards. Those are my favorite. Like, you remember my birthday, you remember me for Christmas. Like, those are small things because I make it big for your kids. So I like to feel special too. Teacher Teacher Week, y'all should up the gifts.
Teacher Appreciation Week is nice.
You've been around for a while.
I have been around a long time. It doesn't feel like 30 years, but yeah. And then just looking at getting close to the end and finding it hard to even have the conversation of retirement, because you don't want to go because of the relationships that you've established with. But the parents that I really like are the parents who start out as your hardest parents,
Yeah.
and you win them over
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
realize you're there for their children, that you have their best interests, even when the kid goes home and say something that ain't true.
Yeah.
Because I always tell them, I'm like, you need to verify stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
'Cause I
just
didn't
let
say
them come
that.
home and
I didn't say that. I
tell
said
you that.
this.
Yeah, this is what I said.
That's
you know,
funny.
this is exactly how I said it.
Yes.
Just so that you know, and this is why I said it.
Yeah.
You know, and just being able to just reach out. Like you say, I had a principal one time, and this is what I was trying to remember, that's why I'm just kind of talking, who said, if you put deposits in the bank at the beginning, so you talk about all the good stuff,
Yeah.
that when it's time to make a withdrawal, it's easy to make the withdrawal because you put in
Yeah.
the deposit. No deposits, that withdrawal is going to be real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard. So yeah.
Okay, what's one thing that, besides like calling, popping up, because when I look at it, I'm just thinking about parents my age or parents younger, or even the parents that kids I grew up with. Like I said, a lot of them wasn't involved, but like, how can y'all as educators make those parents that's probably unknowing feel more comfortable? Like, maybe they did go to school and didn't learn nothing, and now they have kids, and maybe they don't know how to have that connection with their kids because it never was done to them. Or how can y'all make it more comfortable for them, or what can they do to make themselves more comfortable when it comes to supporting the educators that educate their children?
I think it just comes down to like relationship. Like in
Yeah.
the beginning, it's mostly us reaching out, saying, "Hey, hi." Like I do a lot of phone calls in the beginning. Like I do a lot of phone calls in the beginning, and then towards the end of the year, like parents really don't. I don't have to reach out to them. They end up reaching out to me because I done called so many times. Like, "Hey, I'm just calling to just see what you need." And a lot of parents, when I do those first couple of calls, like I try to do one each month until winter break. It's like, oh, we don't need anything. Or some parents be like, oh, actually, I've been wondering about this. Like, okay, well, you can always email me. You can always call me. You can text me. Like, I'm a reply. So I think just building relationships, and my families know, like, they can reach me even beyond, like, the window of professionalism. Like, I done had late night conversations.
Early
morning conversations, on my way to work conversations, about to see your kid. So yes, I think it's relationships
Okay.
helps them.
Y'all see how I put it back on y'all like
Yeah.
like we do, but
Yeah.
I was just trying to see, if it was something.
I don't think I can add much there. I agree with them. It's the relationships, and so I don't know. I do feel like, and for better or worse, I can compartmentalize some aspects of
Yeah.
teaching being a job. You know, what I'm
Man.
saying? So it's like I'm gonna do what I can, and I think it goes back to my point. I just think there truly has to be some ownership on the other side, and like I said, I just try to make
Yeah.
the environment feel as welcome as possible. When you
Yeah.
come to my room, I want everyone
Hey.
to feel welcome.
Right.
Parents, teachers, everyone should feel welcome in my classroom. And so that's the best I
Yeah.
can do, and encourage any questions that you may have along the way, and be willing to answer those questions without ego, knowing that I think the biggest kind of connection I draw with parents, I love your child.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do what I think, respectfully, I I think is best for your child.
Yeah.
And if you disagree, correct me.
Yeah.
But they still in the school, so they're still Mr. Faluka's classroom. But it has gone well with the idea and the feeling. I think that's a feeling of them knowing that I truly care for their child.
Yeah.
Which is why usually like conferences or like a in-person meeting.
I don't be
is always
needing those.
great.
I'd be like, hey, we
I just
already.
think they're good for that. Like if you never saw the parent,
if you
I'm
never
talking
saw 'em,
about just
yeah.
like that in-person connection. I think it makes them like
Yeah.
puts them at ease a lot of time. Like, oh no, this dude.
With the older
cares.
kids, I feel like conferences are needed. With the young ones, I feel like I've had more parents in the room
That's
a
fair.
lot
Yeah.
all the time. It'd be like, you was just here yesterday.
Yeah.
And we talked for 2 hours. Hey, let's just say you came to your conference.
I got you. No, that's.
I'm trying to get
yeah.
my 100% gift card. You feel me?
I hear you. I definitely think I can see that middle school and high school
Middle
is definitely
school
getting
is
dropped
so-
off and stuff for finding their own way to school. So you're
So
not
hard.
just gonna
Yes.
see parents naturally.
And parents
a lot.
are like working longer hours now.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like my kids be like, oh, my mom leaves before I get on the bus.
Right.
And I get home before she does. So
Absolutely.
it's like stuff
Yeah.
like that, and they're helping with a sibling. So I feel like that's why it's so much even harder, because I feel like with the younger kids, the parents are like picking up. My
Yeah,
fifth
no,
graders,
right
they're
on.
all on the
Right
bus
on.
or they're walkers.
Right on.
I don't have no pickups unless they're going to like after school or whatever.
No.
Okay, well, what if I go a little above the parents, the educators? How can the education system or the system that was built
Against us?
help you all
Against us, not for
build
us.
these relationships? Is like, what can the school or the districts do? What do y'all need from them?
No, I don't know.
More money.
I think I've reached this point with institutions where
Yeah.
I personally feel like we just need to reevaluate our place in them, specifically as black people and black students and black children, and evaluate how we're interacting with them. Because I don't know, from the inside, it's just hard to believe you're gonna convince 95, like in Minnesota, 95% of the teachers are white women. You're gonna
Yeah.
convince all of them to love on these black babies
Yeah.
correctly. I don't know if we have the time or the resources
I've been on
in the
teams
world.
where-
Yeah.
They say they love them, or they say, and then you see like different actions, like and different in their windows to certain stuff that they will and will not do. So like, and I see at a particular school that I was at, they were really, really big on this circus thing that they do every year. And I'm like, we don't do the circus around here. Ain't no monkeys, ain't none of that, ain't none of that. They had like a monkey thing. And I'm like, you got a brown kid about to play a monkey role? And y'all want me to teach the monkeys? Oh, no, this is a monkey mess. Like, y'all is really tearing y'all drawers. Like, y'all is going out of the way. And it's like, even having that conversation with them as a first-year teacher, I was fresh. I was like 21. First-year teacher with teachers that taught for like 30, 40 years. I feel like that's also another layer, like their personal bias and then the protection of like tenure. Like, it's different when you're going against a union. It's like a bodyguard, and it's good in some instances, and it's not good in others.
That's why I'm saying I don't think we have enough time to
Yeah.
vote enough people into the union, vote enough people into the school board. When I just feel like there's more practical ways for us to educate our children like we did for a long time prior to integration, to be honest with you. Even if it's just us really evaluating the way in which we use our money and think about cooperative economics. There's a lot we could think about in terms of putting some money in the bucket to educate our children and seeing what that looks like, you know. One thing I'll add too on that's like one math problem I used to do with my kids when they would all come to school with new J's on. I did it, I would do it when the J's, no, we would do math and it would be like, all right, the average pair is $200. And let's just say 10,000 black folks buy them in Minneapolis, and 200 times 10,000 is 2 million. So you can, it's like one weekend, $2 million, you repeat that. And so, and they all got it. They was like, dang, man, maybe I could. Like, these are the kids. Like, I think I could sacrifice my J's for 1 week for a better environment. Because it was all we're looking at the school, how run down the school was. And that's my number. I always run it. I always, I just see a few too many pairs of J's. I'm like, let's do this math.
At the same time.
On the release day. As soon as they come out on release day. I'm not mad at it either. I think it's just prioritization as it pertains to like a fix, which is what your question, because I don't know how we fixing the mess. I think we did it already.
Yeah, because felt like it was created, education in general was created to create workers. So it was never really created to like educate us. Now we educated us amongst ourselves, amongst our people. So it was like when we integrated, it was just like going into a system that was not set up for us to really grow and prosper. So over time, we became educators ourselves, been in these spaces that had us not even allowed in certain spaces so that our kids can have the representation. They can have people that speak their language and understand them and understand what's going on and read them in a different way. But yeah, we need more of our schools by us outside of like these big districts, like ran by us, for us, with our money, with our flow. Yes.
That's right.
You know.
I agree.
But we have to have the conversation with
Absolutely.
us.
Yes.
To say
Absolutely.
the benefit of people stepping into the role of education, and it's more than the money.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we get out of that mindset that it's all about the money, because if I'm contributing to, when I look at these two that are in this space and knowing the impact, I didn't know it at that point in time, what the difference was going to be, but to see them now, to say, I got a little pencil on that.
That investment.
But if there's not enough of us who step up and say, I want to be a part of the solution, instead of looking at it and saying it's everybody else's, we need to change this.
Yeah.
I also think that in the education system, the district has to start listening to the ones that are in the classroom every day.
Yeah.
They're not listening to us. They're making decisions for individuals who know what's going on and they don't have a clue of what's going on.
Yeah. And sometimes they're being ran by people who have never been in the classroom.
Never.
I think that's why I said when you're talking about your next phase, like it was respect. I was thinking about my mom too. Like you rarely see people in admin, honestly, with like meaningful classroom experience. I know you got to be in the classroom. I mean, like an impactful teacher who was there because they wanted to be, not to, because that's what you have to do to become a principal. And I just don't. I feel like that should be like in law. Like, nah, we need you to do 5, and we need those 5 years to be effective. You know, just so you can see the ins and outs. To your point, I just don't think it's set up that way at all. No. Unfortunately,
and it's crazy. You don't even have to be in the classroom to become. Because I got my principal stuff, and I was in class with other people who never have touched the classroom, and it was just so different. Because in my head, I'm like, "Oh, where you teach at?" And they're like, "I don't do that, Bookie."
And that's almost the attitude. Too.
I don't do that.
Right.
You can do that, but I don't do that. I'm like, oh dang, how you gonna get in the field and never been in the field?
Because if you go in admin, that's where supposedly the money is.
It's a little bit more money.
You can hide in your office and you can get other people to do what you should be doing.
Yeah.
You know, kids need to see admin.
Yeah.
They need to see them in classrooms, not because
not because of observation.
They are doing an observation, but because I'm invested in what you're learning, and I want to be a part of that as well. A lot of the students in my building don't know who the principal is. They know the assistant principal.
I was just gonna say, I didn't know who the principal.
You see the
assistant moving around, but the principal, they're like, who are you? You're our principal for
Dang,
real?
man.
See,
I got
that's your name?
smoke. I gotta hold all the smoke.
Yeah.
I like this job. Prior, I don't really care about admin or really just the thoughts about education or the kids, but I like this role. I think I'm gonna keep it cool on current admin, but I do agree in
Yeah.
general. They just don't see it, and they're just not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
the kids
unfortunate.
know.
And the kids know.
The kids know. Also, they know which teachers in the building
Yep.
are really there for them. Because
Yeah.
then you get, okay, because she's going to look, are you going to be there next year? Because my first grader got to come to second grade.
Right.
I need her in your room.
Right.
And parents do that. They talk about, okay, well, that's who I think you should be in their classroom. And I've had, this year particularly, I had students that were placed in the other room. They were like, nope, put them in her room. I want them in her room. So students.
I don't have parents do that too. I'm like, how do you even find me? Who told you?
Everybody else talk.
Yeah, no, parents do talk when they want
They
to.
do.
When they
Parents
want to talk,
Yep.
they talk.
Parents
Yeah,
talk
they do.
for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a thing around our
Yeah.
house. Everybody, Miss Poe. We gotta get to Miss Poe.
Yes.
My daughter in high vibe right
I had
now,
the
and that's all
sister
she talking
first.
about.
The
Miss
kids-
Poe. Miss Poe
Auntie
is my
first.
teacher. I'm like, you don't even go to school yet.
Yeah, she was in love with me, and I was so excited to meet her. And then that first week, I was like, "Ooh, this is not the baby I thought I wanted."
How it goes.
Redo. Let's do reverse skip. Oops.
You gonna do my baby like that? That's crazy. I can't wait to tell her. But I don't want to take too much of y'all time. This was a really great conversation. I really hope that we could continue to have these conversations.
Yes.
Not in places like this. If y'all need me, I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
If y'all need a parent voice, y'all need me to get some people, just call me.
I'll be calling you.
Yes.
Call me.
Yes.
I'll be there. But thank y'all for y'all time. Again,
Thank
thank
you.
y'all for what y'all do. Y'all are needed. We need
Amen.
to see people that look like us.
Mhm.
It's a little thing on Facebook that say, how many black teachers did you have?
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up? And I be sitting there like, one.
Yeah.
And so, like, now with my kids going, both of my kids, they don't have a, well, I guess you could say it's a black teacher. They both of are of African descent.
Mhm.
But, hey, they see somebody that look like them.
Yeah.
So, continue showing up. Y'all are appreciated. Even if y'all parents don't tell y'all, I'm letting y'all know. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Woo.